But you would also see people playing multiple copies of Storm, because one of the most devastating things you could do as a Red Eyes player would be to survive the a turn with your Red Eyes Spirit set. You would go on your turn, activate Storm, chain Red Eyes Spirit, and maybe chain like an enemy controller, just nuke the field, bring out the back row rather, bring out your Red Eyes Zombie Dragon, go in for lethal. Here is a shiny Sophion. Here is a pure, much more zombie focused version of it. More Red Eye Zombie. Here is, this right here was pain. So for those of you that don't know, balance had no downside originally, and it would perfectly sculpt your hand. So your hand would be always one of these monsters, one of these spell traps, and then spells, and then two of these traps. So you would set up, you would be able to negate your opponent. And so usually what you did is you would Red Eyes Insight, dump a Red Eyes Black Dragon. So if you opened Insight, you would dump a Red Dragon, set a Spirit off of that, and then set like Ultimate Providence, Champion's Vigilance or something, and you just negated everything your opponent did. It was disgusting. And then someone looking to take advantage of all the dragons in, well, not dragons in the meta, but so that was the first MCS. MCS number 2. This would be where 3-star demotion became a big thing. And for this format, I believe they also, they switched to 2-deck format. So we have Shoot My Manlet playing Psychics, and 3-star demotion Toon Barrel Dragon. The idea with the Psychic deck was, if I remember correctly, it was just like an advantage deck. The Psychokinesis was removal. She would float, if I remember correctly. He could boost. Yeah, it was just like an advantage deck. What is the second skill? This one right here. 3-star demotion. Old school 3-star demotion would make it so that you could... it was once per duel. And when you activated it, all monsters in your hand, I believe, lost 3 levels. Darlin, thank you so much for the follow. So what you could do with that skill is your level 7 Toon Barrel Dragon would become level 4, so you could just normal summon it. And then its effect was flip 3 coins to attempt to nuke any card on the field. So you would just go activate skill, Toon Barrel Dragon, just start popping. And then everything else was just about protecting your Toon Barrel Dragon. The other major 3-star demotion deck you would see played is ninjas, because the Black Dragon Ninja or the Red Dragon Ninja were normal summonable off of it. Red Dragon Ninja was literally the Ryza of its time. You would summon Red Dragon Ninja, put a card back onto the top of the deck. It was very funny. Looks like people still trying to make Red Eyes Dragon or Red Eyes Zombie Dragon work, adding in the metal morphs to give it some offensive power. More 3-star demotion ninjas. Very powerful deck for its time. Oh no. The original mill deck. What character had this skill? 3-star demotion? That was the Paradox Brothers. If you don't know, Paradox Brothers have had like the most broken skills in any single character like in this game's history. If I'm pretty sure on that. The original idea of 3-star demotion, I believe, was to let you summon out your Gate Guardians. That is not what you did with it. But yeah, this mill deck was absolutely toxic. Oh my lord, was it annoying to play against. So this deck right here, the entire purpose was to get out Invader of Darkness and abusing Mausoleum, basically. Because quick play spells were pretty, you know, no enemy controller and whatnot. Red Eyes Psychics, Red Eyes. Oh, this deck. This deck was funny. So this one here was the Creator. The entire purpose of this deck was to abuse the Creator and Blackluster Soldier. And part of the way you did that was by getting the AD changer into the graveyard using your Blackluster trap. And then the Creator plus it was just like an advantage engine. It was a very funny deck. More Toon Barrel Dragon, Balance Red Eyes, abusing Champion's Vigilance. Very nice. MCS number... Why is this out of order? Number 3. And can we just talk about this, by the way? Holy mackerel, the prize pools of these tournaments. Incredible. Here come the Cyber Angels. Monka Giga, the Cyber Angels are coming. Now keep in mind, a lot of these prizes were because sponsorships from people back then were huge. Just look at this. $600 from Justin, $550 from Night Raider, $111 from Nerd Chic, $100 each from Kaizen, Jad Go, and Jader. Like, people loved donating to these tournaments. People love donating to these tournaments. There was a very strong sense of community that personally, the Master Duel just hasn't replicated this. And this is not like like, you know, bah humbug, whatever. It's not the same. It's just not the same. There was something special about this, like, and you'll see it kind of taper off, but even towards the end, there were, the prize pools were very nice. Oh no, where are the deck lists? Oh no. Let me see if I can find this. Yep, Tecumseh was a very avid member of the community back during this time, the Duel Links community. He still plays Master Duel every now and then. You can find him on Twitch. He's usually playing dinos. He is a very much a die-hard dino supporter. So we are gonna be looking for some examples of Cyber Angels. So let's look at Tecumseh. He had dinos and Cyber Angels. So Tecumseh. That's King of Games. Unfortunately, I don't think it has the decks here. Hog, beatdown. Okay, well, I guess we can just look at an example of a Cyber Angel list from this time. Seeing if there's any like, well, whatever. We'll go look at one of these old ones. Yeah, that's a perfectly fine one. So you would Mind Scan was one of the ones, yeah. So this was a very simple deck. Get out Cyber Angel Dakini, non-targeting send. So what you would have to do, or wait, yeah, what you would have to do is, like, the only real defense against Dakini, this matchup, was to econ take the Dakini and have it be your only monster, and then they would have to send their own Dakini. Like this, it literally was the most unga bunga deck. That is just Dakini's great. You wanted to go second, and you did not want your opponent to have, did not want them to have econ. That was literally the game. Everything came down to that. So unfortunately, can't really look at MCS 3 there. So we will skip ahead to 4. So here we have another prominent TCG member. Or T was TPC, but member of the TCG. Eugen Height. If you guys don't know Eugen, he is or I don't know if he still plays, but he's like a German TCG player. He did very well over his Duel Links career. Oren, I didn't win the MCS. I won the first Meta Weekly. I only played in a couple MCSs before I started helping run them. So, this was Hazy Flame meta. The strategy here was to basically get to, oh god, I forget what it's called. It's like Berserk something, Rage. Basically, it let you, you would get out a Hazy Flame, and then this continuous one would let you banish another Hazy Flame to boost another one. The extra deck didn't matter. It's just there because it's funny. So literally your Hazy Flames got bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. Yes, Valk. Literally, if your opponent got the Hazy Flames big enough, oftentimes there was very little you could do about it. And Aroma strategy lets you know what to call off of the Hazy Flame Sphinx. Beast Rising, yes, thank you, Icy. Fun fact, Hazy Flame Sphinx was actually bugged on release. So even though people wanted to be able to play Hazy Flame at Worlds, Konami specifically disallowed Hazy Flame Sphinx. Because if I remember correctly, it would not pick the monster that you picked. It would like pick whatever was like at the top or bottom of the graveyard. I can't remember. It was bugged, or wait. And it also summoned it in defense position, I believe. It was hecka bugged. It was hecka bugged. Now this is a deck after my heart. Gladiator Beasts. Now, playing Sergeant Electro was not standard for Gladiator Beast. But Gladiator Beast was a fun deck. You literally just played all your Unga cards to make it so that you could beat into your opponent's monsters. You tagged into Bestiary, you tagged into Murmillo. You did not focus on your extra deck like much at all, because most of the time you just couldn't get into it. You focused on putting your opponent in the defense position and then hitting them with it. And then tagging out into one of the pops or the double attacker or the big guy. Half Shut was played, yes. I loved this deck. It was so much fun at the time. My preferred play style, while balance was technically probably the correct way to play it, I enjoyed playing it with Shadow Game. This was pre-nerf Shadow Game, so both players would take damage getting burned over time. And the idea was that Gladiator Beast with all the pops would put more cards in your opponent. Whereas the SR Trap, they're just not playing it. You're talking about impenetrable attack or something like that. And awesome, more broken deck list links. History is being erased before our eyes. No. So, I believe that this might have been the first introduction of side deck. Willa Pino, pretty prominent member of the community for a very long time. Also, holy Jesus. The winner of the event got 1675. Bruh. I forgot, like, this one went crazy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1100, 1200, 13, 50, 14, 1600. Yeah, so this looks like it was the introduction of side deck to the MCS. Yeah, fun fact, by the way, Shady Penguin did in fact play Duel Links for a while. If you guys don't know, Shady Penguin, a pretty huge Pokemon streamer. I believe he is currently doing a live stream over on or a subathon over on YouTube right now. But yeah, there was a period of time where Shady Penguin was into Duel Links. It was a lot of fun. So side decking here, this is going to be post Cyber Angel nerf. So they tried to tone down the power level of Cyber Angels by hitting Dakini and Machine Angel Ritual to 2. As you can tell, while it hurt the deck a little bit, it did not kill it. You thought the subathon was over? I'm pretty sure like yesterday he still had like a 1 day, 13 hours. Maybe it's over or something, but he was talking about how he was gonna have to go until like Tuesday or something. So because the Cyber Angels got reduced in the amount of power that they had, Saphira got added to the deck instead and kind of brought its power level back up. Looks like another third place Japanese Nationals TCG. So another Cyber Angel, Gladiator Beast. We got the impenetrable attack there. All these traps to keep them alive and put monsters into defense position to take advantage of all the effects. More Cyber Angel. Ah, yes. The Snipe Hunter deck. Volcanic Snipe Hunter. Flip a coin roll a die and hope you don't get 1 or 6. Wipe the board, take everything from them. S. Akuma on Red Eyes Dragons, still a thing. Hazy Flame, still a thing. Hazy Flame. This would have been Red Eyes Slash Dragon pre Red Eyes Fusion. More Gladiators, more Hazy Flame. Hazy Flame sucked to play against as a Gladiator player. It was awful. Literally your only hope against them. Usually you had to play like, you wanted to play, a lot of Gladiator players would play Wall of Disruption because it was like one of the few ways to deal with it. Old school Dino. Put him to defense. Hydrogeddon, swarm the field. This deck was not really a thing anymore. More Cyber Angel. Toxic Stall deck. Literally, you would just like make it so your opponent couldn't play the game, and then you would use Pot of Avarice. And remember, Endless Trap Hell during this time shuffled every trap back into the deck, every trap in the graveyard. So you'd be on turn like 37 just praying, and then they're just like, shuffle them back, shuffle them back, shuffle them all back. And yeah, Massive Morph was really annoying back then. Oh, hell no. Oh no, I'm flashing back right now. I'm flashing back. MCS number 6. Also, look at these player counts, by the way. Almost 300 people entering. Ah, we are entering alien meta. This may not look like it, but if you wanted to win almost $2,000, all you had to do was play aliens. So this deck literally was like an advantage engine deck. Get the tokens on the opponent, pop back row with the telepath, search for the overlord with the recomp in the graveyard, reduce all the opponent's monsters massively, go for game. Oh no, it was a very cheap deck. Red Eye Zombie playing straight to the grave for the boost. Now this Monka Giga, the Citadel Whale, the Stealth Attack. If your opponent did not have Cosmic Cyclone, you basically won the game. This was toxic. We loved it. Dino Kingdom, Red Eye Zombie, more Citadel, more aliens. You can't escape the magnets. The entire purpose of this deck was to trigger Delta the Magnet Warrior to bring out Valkyrion, get Gaia Plate, Unga Bunga. More Hazy Flame, more aliens. Check him out on Twitch. Oh, we'll check. Are you still around, Medziar? When's the last time that you streamed? Okay, well, a long time ago. Gladiator Beast, aliens, Gladiator, aliens, more aliens. Alien meta. Number 7. The Rise of Girgia and Masked Hero Unga Bunga. I imagine that he probably had more followers, and if he hasn't been streaming in several years, people probably just started unfollowing. Ooh. Can we actually still... Nice. First place, Jason, with the old school Anki Turbo. You either pulled off a Trinity Crush or Anki Direct Attack with Chalice for OTK. I believe this was a total support for the whole tournament, not first place. Notes from the MCS champion. Not much to say. Really great tournament. Thanks for organizing. I really like that it was 1 day instead. Oh, right. Now that I remember, old MCSs used to be 2 days. I forgot about that. Oh my lord. 2-day MCSs. I really like that it was 1 day instead of 2. I was really surprised by the 2 high potential decks that TPC chose ended up being the most played. Wait, TPC getting it right? Not my TPC. Not my TPC. Girgia plus Ties of the Brethren was really strong, but I didn't want to play the mirror match, and sometimes the Sylvan matchup can blow out. Just like Abyss Soldier Mask Change helps you play through a bunch of back row and set up OTK. That combined with Destiny Hero Celestial drawing 2, you can go through the deck fast and see the mask changes quickly. It's going to be an interesting KC Cup meta. Shout out to Flamer Boys, my main testing partner, which includes blah blah blah. So this deck, Girgia. The idea with Restart, you wanted to see Ties of the Brethren. You would summon a Girgia. You'd activate Ties of the Brethren. You would get your other 2 Girgias. You'd put your anchor and your attacker face down. You would then protect them. Or, you know, either with Pulse Mines or Desert Sunlight to flip. When you would flip them, you would Girgia Anchor would pop a monster, and Girgia Attacker would pop a back row. So it was all about just destroy, just get that advantage, protect and get the advantage. Yep. Do you want to get it, the original Duel Links? Do you want to get it twisted? Do you want to get it twisted? Because I want to get it twisted. Normal summon the Marsh Leaf. Set the Mushroom. Hope that you milled out the Wazoo. Yeah, this deck was literally like Coin Flip Turbo. Another Girgia. More Girgia. People playing System Down even back then. Anti-Magic Prism. Activate only when your opponent activates a quick play spell. Select 1 card on the field and destroy it. So the reason you played this is because your opponent would activate Mask Change. You flip Anti-Magic Prism and destroy the Mask Change target. It was real dumb, but it worked. More Girgia. Red Eyes still sticking her. Man, people who invested in this deck, by the way, got to ride it for a while. Anybody who ever said that decks and Duel Links die out hard and fast, some decks just never died. They would just linger and linger. Grucius. Destiny Calling. Look how clean this is. Look how clean. 3 Cosmic, 3 Mask Change, 3 Chalice, 3 Enemy Controller. That can't be right? Whatever. Okay. Aliens still kicking around. So that was number 7. Sylvans and Spellbooks. Ooh, Ooh, Amazon is starting to rise up too. My God, Stevie wrote a goddamn novel about this. Would you like to be able to read this beautiful novel? Second place, Eugen on Amazonas. Amazonas at this point got access to Onslaught and Amazonas Princess. This deck was something else. Get out the Queen. Swordswoman could be a win condition on her own. Massive morph one of your opponent's monsters. Ram an unkillable Amazonas Swordswoman into it over and over. Disgusting. The original spellbooks. So this version of spellbooks focused on getting a ton of spellbooks in the graveyard. It wanted to take advantage of Prophecy Destroyer, Fool of Prophecy, Reaper of Prophecy, actually playing the Prophecy cards, Grass spellbooks, get Millen. You know, a setup Spellbook of Fate was really hard for a lot of decks to deal with. It was absolutely like you would normal summon Blue Boy, grab secrets grab master copy secrets search for Spellbook of Fate, etc., etc. And then the next turn you're like, let's do it all over again. Spellbook of Eternity, grab my, you know, one of my banished cards. Just keep doing it over and over. Yep. Here's another version. Very similar. Billy Break on Get It Twisted with his 19 card deck. That doesn't seem right. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's because that was probably... It was probably Trunade. It had to have been Trunade. Maybe it was Trunade and it got removed because from these lists because it's banned. I don't know. Tribute to the Doomed? It might be. I don't know. More spell books. -1. Still playing back in the day. And again, for anyone who may have joined us, the reason that we're going over this is, oh, hey, -1, you're actually here. It's like we summoned you. Going down MCS Uri Lane. It was Tribute to the Doomed. Thank you. So yeah, this meta was 2 variations of Get It Twisted. We go on to MCS number 9. But yes, just in case anyone is new to the to this particular stream, the MCS Discord apparently got deleted. I don't know when this happened. I mean, obviously you're not going and checking this out very often. But when me and some of my fellow moderators found out it got deleted, I decided I wanted to, because that history was lost, I wanted to just kind of go back down and look at the history of the 50 MCSs that we that DLM held. Alrighty. So MCS number 9, the meta looking fairly similar. Amazonas rising in power, Spellbooks and Sylvan still holding it strong with a couple stragglers. I believe this 6 Samurai did not have this was pre-synchro 6 Samurai, so they're just coping hard. Ooh, hello. Oh my goodness. So people may not remember this particular deck. So Extra did not used to have a once per duel limit. So you would be constantly gaining life off of the golden ladybugs in your hand. You'd be gaining life off your draining shield. You'd be stalling with your wall of disruptions, your impenetrable attacks, your massive morph, your rainbow life. And anytime your opponent managed to deal some damage, you'd extra, and then whatever the next card you drew was, draw 2 of it. Get that advantage back. So if you drew into like a golden ladybug, you might have like 4 golden ladybugs in your turn. Or if you drew into like, you know, double massive morph, that's 2 massive morphs. Good luck, gamer. Good luck. Maybe I draw double wall of disruption. Good luck. This deck was infuriating to play against. How does it win? Deck out. Let's what did our boy Chila have to say about this? Going into this MCS, I was expecting a ton of Sylvan, Spellbooks, Amazonas, and Masked Heroes. While building my deck, I was really scared of back row like Hey, True Nade, Cosmic Cyclone, Ku Mushroom, etc. So I decided to run Rainbow Life to stop the OTK. Defense draw was really good in the Spellbook and Sylvan matchups for 2 reasons. 1, it negates the Rose Lover trap immunity. When facing Spellbooks, you need the resources to keep up. Defense draw is basically like an extra effect on its own. I ran Impenetrable Attack because it also shuts down the Rose Lover effects and it stalls for a turn. If you are lower life point and you have 2 golden ladybugs in hand and you extra into Impenetrable Attack, it's a free 2 turns and a gain of 2k life points from the ladybugs. This combo saved me in my duel versus Billy Break. I lost round 1 and 2 versus, wow, imagine going X2 and then winning it out. I lost in round 1 and 2 versus my teammate Soon and another Japanese player. They both use Masked Heroes and they both beat me. I lost 2 games of them to Hey True Nade simply because I did not have a chainable card. Starting the MCS 02 sucked. It forced me to make sure I played optimally and did not make mistakes, as I could not afford any more losses in Swiss. After those 2 losses, I pulled a comeback and went 10-0 and finished 10-2. 12 rounds, by the way. 12 friggin' rounds, by the way. Bro. These were grinders. These were absolute grinders. In the epic top 4 game versus Mock Dragon, he waited too long to push, and by the time he did, I had enough life points to survive. The trick to playing against Spellbooks is to gain a ton of life points. With a lot of life points in the late game, when they decide to start swinging, you get extra pop, or you get to pop extra every turn. Spellbook players just can't keep up after that. In our match, I was way The way I healed was instead of using Draining Shield and Massive Morph, I used Rainbow Life. I did this because in the Spellbook matchup, they can use Spellbook of Fate on their monster to negate the life point gain. Blah, blah, blah. He decided not to negate it, and in the damage step, I used Massive Morph. After that, it was hard for him to out-resource me. So we have Black Jesus on Amazonas, Mock Dragon on the Spellbooks, Dark Magician of Chaos Jump Scare, Monka Giga. There's the tribute to the doomed. I think he means 5 rounds. Right. -1. You are correct. That would be for the entire run. Correct. So it was 7 rounds Swiss and then the top 32. Correct. Thank you. Reg Trainer 1 on Spellbooks. Eugen on Amazonas. Dennis. -1 on the Cringe Hey Trunade OTK. Amazon. Miss Stilton. Stevie. Mr. Cellophane. Woo Lad. Takumse. On the Copium 6 Samurai. Notable top 32. Notable. All right, MCS number 10. I believe this. Yeah, okay. The first legendary format. So this was copying the Worlds format. So the rules to this tournament, you had to make 3 decks. 2 of them were standard decks. 1 of them followed the legendary rules. You had to have a different character and skill per deck. Standard deck had no restrictions. Legendary had to follow the legendary rules. And Grand Finals was 5. So it was Grand Finals was literally copying the Worlds format. Is there no interest in MCS type tournaments anymore? Oh, sure there is. It's a matter of funding them. You need to be able to fund them. The closest that we've had in recent memory is when DLE was doing the $500 GG Tour tournaments. Unfortunately, any of the people MCS kind of funds itself. Well, okay, sure. If you're talking about the pay $10 to enter, but I'm not sure how much interest there is in a pay $10 to enter tournament anymore. I mean, I'm not opposed to theoretically trying, but I doubt it would. I don't know. Maybe. So, Fur High. Oh my lord. Oh my Jesus. So, Fur Hires, Amazonas, Spellbooks were the main ones. In the Legendary Duelists, Fusion Reserve Roids, Endless Trap Hell, 3-star Demotion, then 1 each of Destiny Calling, Transcendent Crystals, Master of Magicians, Where the Hero Dwells, Middle Age Mechs, Beatdown, V Delzen. The 2 standard decks, we've got, this would be the introduction of Silent Magician's Spellbooks. Silent Magician's Negate was particularly devastating against certain decks. like heroes. Being able to potentially stop the mass change unless they had a forbidden chalice, being able to protect your spell book of fate from a cosmic cyclone or a hey true nade. So I believe, where is the, okay, so so standard. Here was the here was an example of fur hire back in the day. Fur hire, for those of you that don't know, was probably one of the first borderline, if not tier 0 decks the game ever had. Just based off of the fact that it generated a ton of advantage for the time and could just flood the board. Dynalock, banishing the graveyard. Wiz, able to negate. So if you dropped Wiz and they had like Tretch or whatever, you were just like, whatever, don't care. Well, okay, obviously Cyber Angels, yes. Very much it was a pretty Unga deck, as you can tell by using a beatdown. Your Dyna and your Wiz were your high levels. Your Donpa and your Recon, you had the advantage of, Donpa pops as well. Look at my legendary duelist deck. Can't you tell? My legendary duelist Roids deck? I heckin' love Roids. Or how about, like, look, I'm totally an Odeon player. I heckin' love Embodiment of Apophis. When they had no idea what they were doing with the legendary duelist rules. So Amazonis, Cyber Angel, Fur Hire. Middle-aged mechs. Yep, that's the middle-aged mechs that I remember. Okay, this one though was actually kind of funny. The Transcendent, this was like a legit deck. It wasn't necessarily a good one, but people legit tried to make this work. So the idea behind Transcendent Crystal Silent Magician is that you could toss your Silent Burning off of your skill, get it into the graveyard, banish it from the graveyard, get a Silent Magician, normal summon a recruit, or normal or set your recruiter, tribute it off for the Silent Magician, recruiter search. You kept your hand high, and then you just survived off of a really big Silent Magician and Crystal Raigeki. It was before the skill nerf, yeah. And yes, Sniffus is correct. It was one of the most free-to-play friendly decks for the time. Luke Tyler, who you can still find on Twitch to this day, plays the TCG, but comes back to Duel Links every once in a while. Go follow the boy on Twitch. Spellbook. Okay, so at this point, only the finals had to do an extra deck. All these are going to be regular, and legendary. So we played Fur Hire, Spellbooks, Roids, which was just Girgia with the required Roid cards. Soul Cardinal on Parasite Infestation Amazonis, Fur Hire, and Master of Magicians. This one was, oh yeah, randomly add one of those cards to your hand. Wower, Amazoness, Spellbooks. I heckin' love my 3-star demotion deck. So, so literally play a bunch of bricks and hope you don't draw them, because I believe this skill had been nerfed by this point. Pretty standard. Ancient Gear. Miss Tilton. 3-star demotion Amazoness. This was so hilarious. I loved it. It was so dumb. The things people were doing. Had to play the diamond dude. You just, and your plasma, you're just like, screw it. I hope I don't draw him. I hope I don't draw him. Well, actually, I guess it didn't matter, because you would just be able to mask change them. I heckin' love Blue Eyes. Play your 3 Blue Eyes, and then, I don't know, every once in a while you'll have a full board of, you know, fur hires. You can tribute over it. Screw it, I guess. I don't know. Fusion Reserve Roids. Ooh. The original incarnation of Noble Knights. Endless Trap Hell. Amazoness. Oh no. Oh, please stop. Where the hero... Oh. Sure. All right. That is number 10 down. Vampires enter the scene, as well as ultra athletes, with Amazoness still a supremely powerful deck. We were still 2-deck format at this point. So this abused the unnerfed cyber style. If you guys don't remember, cyber style back in the day would just summon one cyber dragon core. No, not core. The baby cyber dragon. For every 1,000 you were missing. Proto cyber dragon. Thank you. So you would literally just pay life points off of the vampire effects. You could use the proto cyber dragons for tributes. You could econ. Wait, I think you could econ take with them, right? The original incarnation, you could use econ. Yeah, there was no restriction. So simultaneous loss to trigger the Vampire Kingdom on the opponent's turn. Pretty toxic. Randomly play in the Sacred Soldier. Just because, you know, because you would have banished stuff. Also, you could summon it off of the cyber, the proto cyber, so getting it out was not hard. No, so we have Jason, Lord Arcthor on Fur Hire and Silent Magician Spellbooks, Digichannel, Mixed Master, Luis Guada. This is going to be our first incarnation of UA. The idea behind this deck, again, the Cyber style, you could trigger, you would Cosmic Cyclone, get a Proto Cyber Dragon, and then you could tribute your Rebounder over it. So just remove a back row, Rebounder, bring out another body. You played what's the Blessed Ringe copy pasta? You used the Tricky because, again, not only could you discard, not only could it get a body on the field for you to tribute over, but you could discard penalty box, search for stadium, and just go to town. This was a pretty based deck. I liked it a lot. And if anyone disagrees, you're wrong. Shiny Sophion with a similar deck, playing Sphere Karibo instead of the Tricky. Seraph Sephiroth, Fetty Guap. S. Akuma. Mithra, giving you your opponent a token that you could Dunker over. Dunker was pretty hyped during this time. People would get really excited whenever Dunker would get the OTK on. R. McMurphy. Silchus Ruin. Oh, wow. Look at this fruit. Man, Sniffus must have just been getting into the game or something. Like, damn, he ain't got any cards yet. Playing Widespread Ruin. His one Cosmic, his one Galaxy Cyclone. I don't know what you're talking about, Sniffus. I don't know what you're talking about. And yes, you did it because of the skill, my monster cards. I'm doing a little trolling. Was it shared for 2 decks? Yes, if I remember correctly. Soon, SoCal's finest. That is MCS number 11. What happened to the pretty graphics? Amazonas and Vampires still continue to lead the pack. Looks like the UA. So this must have been after the nerf to Cyber Style. The first nerf to Cyber Style was you could no longer tribute them, right? Joe Torres. Monkey Boy. Yeah, so like anytime they're still using Cyber Style, it was literally just to get like bodies on the field to attack with. So New Wave, the one thing you need to keep in mind about the prize pool is that it was $10 entry to join the tournament. So if you had like so there was only one donator for this one. So that means there was like 150 people joined $10 entry from each person. Easy. So basically, the players entering were funding the tournament. And people were much more willing to do that at the time. Because it was extremely prestigious. If you did well in an MCS, it was very close to the equivalent, especially during these times. It was not quite winning a YCS, but it was more than winning a regional. Like, it was something that you could be extremely proud of. Like, yeah, I won an MCS. At least in my opinion, these were pretty prestigious events. It was a full day, you know, grinding. You did usually 7 rounds into a top 32. Top 16 was in the money. It was top 16 Renrut. So if you lost in top 32, that was the worst. Joe Torres, Monkey Boy, Wise, Simon. This deck right here was hecka cope. Luller, running the Zaborg. We got the Jinzo, Mixed Master, Yay Hey. Thank you. Bandit. Bandit was one of the fun skills he used with vampires as well. Bandit led to a lot of situations. Hello, Itami. Thank you so much for the raid. We are currently going down the MCS memory lane right now. Bandit led to a lot of situations where you got those really hype moments where you're like, you know, get down to 1,500 life points, yoink the back row that would have turned the duel, but now you get to go for lethal because of it. Stevie. 3D. Black Jesus. Shamat. Sunblade. Sal. What the? Raul Torres. Go to number 13. Masked Heroes Rise with a Vengeance. So today, this tournament, so this would have been what? The release of the Blue Eyes structure deck? Right, okay. So, Blue Eyes got access to Azure Eyes Silver Dragon. We got Gigantic Castle in the card trader. We got access to Cosmo Brain and Dragon Spirit of White. So the basic idea was you trick up the sleeve to start with the Cosmo Brain in hand. Then Cosmo Brain would special summon itself with, you know, one of your Blue Eyes, etc. This list looks kind of weird, though. Maybe I'm misremembering. So you would bring out a Blue Eyes, and then you're it was pure Unga, I guess, if I remember correctly. Hello everyone, I will go on record saying that this specific variant of Blue Eyes is definitely meant to dominate tournaments. The version I use for KC Cup is not built this way. So we were playing stuff to help us deal with Destiny Hero Decider. Sealed Tombs, Raul Torres. Luke Tyler bringing the Gemini spice. Let's go. Valkyria Chevalier with the hops. Gemini Spark. Well done, Luke. I remember that now. More Destiny Heroes. Nifroth. Yo, what up, bro? Nifroth playing the toxic anti-dragon deck. Tom V. Zeldin, R. McMurphy, Super Vegito, Zaga on the spell books. Copa. Double magical armbind is pretty funny. And yeah, this was the inclusion of synchros for the first time. Trick up the sleeve. Now this is a more clean version that I remember. -1 on the Sealed Tomb Vampires. Sasuke. Wise. Oh. The Hieratics. And this was... Oh, you would special summon out a Blue Eyes with 0 stats. That's number 13. Kawaki. The Kawaki Meru mistake. Karakuri, Silent Control, Buster Blader, Control. So winning the tournament, last gamble. Buster Blader, Toxic. You guys don't know. Last gamble was not nerfed back then. So you would literally draw like a metric ton of cards sometimes. Karakuri getting second place, level augmentation. The fact that this deck was literally just Beret and Armades is hilarious to me. We literally were playing like, yo, I'm gonna put you to defense, bro. I'm gonna put you to defense, bro. Your ass is going to defense, bro. And then here it is, the absolute abomination of a deck. So if you guys don't know, Diamond Core of Kawaki Meru, add a Kawaki Meru to hand, or add a card too, so you can get the core. Basically, if you had core and diamond, and you went second, it was basically GG. It was basically G friggin' G. Drop down the knight, reveal the core, bring out the wall, bring out the Sandman, whichever. Your diamond core for your Maximus pop, go in. You wouldn't die at the end of your turn because of the diamond core protection. Toxic. This deck was an OTK machine. And then even if you felt like you had the answers, if your opponent saw Urnite into either wall or Sandman, whichever they needed, they would pop a card and they had a negate. This meta was awful. It was the most, I mean, Fur Hire was pretty bad, but this was probably arguably worse. It's a coin toss, I think. For Hire probably had a little more counterplay, but this was awful. You were playing Sealed Tombs just to make sure your opponent couldn't Diamond Core. Okay, this is actually kind of cool. More Karakuri. Karakuri in this incarnation was a pretty fun deck. You were literally just controlling your opponent with your beret and your I mean, it could be a little toxic, like if your opponent like pulse mined you and whatnot, like you were like, man, just let me play the game, please. But it was a very interesting version of the deck. Serenity, Remarkable Jam, Fetty Guap, Charisma, Eugen. This here was a pretty fun deck. This is what we labeled as control. Okay, the idea behind this was what grows in the graveyard started with the Dark Verger in the graveyard. So literally your Junk Synchron turn 1 could turn into an Armades and would also have the ability to what else could you do here? I think the Junk Destroyer and the Junk Berserker came later, right? Yeah. But you would be able to get into your Armades or your Samsara, and then you just controlled with Snowman Eater and DD Assailant, controlled the field. Whoop. Alrighty, let's go to 15. Kawaki Meru still dominating or doing exceptionally well, but I believe they received a hit at this point, correct? Grucius on Middle Age Mechs. I believe Ancient Gear got their structure at this point. Gear Town, Ancient Gear, Reactor Dragon. Pop it with your Cyclone, pop it with your Breaker. This deck was it was kind of toxic, but I kind of liked it. It was fine. Let's see if we can find an example of the Kawaki. I believe Kawaki got hit, right? Was it? Trying to remember. I think Kawaki got hit here, right? Doesn't look like it. No, it doesn't look like it. So Kawaki had not gotten hit yet. Wanking off. So this is pretty much very similar to the previous meta. No real changes between 14 and 15. 16, we have Ancient Gears taking the stage. Absolutely dominating. So this is when they got hit. So Maximus got put to 1 and Kawaki Iron Core got put to 2. This is when they got hit. But didn't matter for Charisma. Giga Chad their way to victory. Playing the Skullmeister to as a counterplay against Ancient Gear. When the Gear Town would go to trigger, you'd be like, LOL, no. Here's an example of how they were playing Ancient Gear. Grucius, not ready to give up the buff women quite yet. Luke Tyler playing Laval's. This was a pretty Giga Chad deck. That's damn right, Nuke Tyler. Resolve Dust Flame Blast response. Oh, what a deck this was. Oh my lord. Okay, so if you guys don't know what this deck aimed to do, Thunder Seahorse could add 2 level 4 light thunder monsters with 1600 attack or less from your deck to your hand. You would add either your Bro Hunters, another Seahorse, or you could add the Morphtronic Radion. You would then use Morphtron, so you would get 2 Radions typically. You had the Accelerator, which could pop a card on the field and draw a card by returning a Radion to hand, from hand to deck. And then if you got multiple Radions on the field, they all boosted up your other Morphtronics itself by 800 attacks. So right away it's 1800. You get a second copy out, they're all 2600. They got real big. Yeah, Ramon, I can do that. This deck was very short-lived, but it was very fun. I enjoyed it a lot. This is probably the best it ever did, and it was mostly because I don't think a lot of people expected what this deck did. And also, these back row are pretty good. So this is going to be probably one of the first incarnations of Survival's End being played. Megalos Smasher X, Survival's End, popping the baby, dumping the Survival's End to the graveyard with the Morella, having that graveyard control. It was a little risky with Skullmeister, but it could Unga pretty hard. And you obviously had the control of your Canadias, your Survival's End. If you resolved like a Survival's End on the field with multiple dinos, it just got out of control real quick. This is going to be one of the first times you saw Unending Nightmare being played. Unending Nightmare would help you pop your own stuff and could be used against other... there wasn't a lot you would use it against, but... Yay Hey also on the Survival's End dino. Look at all the... If your opponent on middle-aged mechs went second against you, and you sometimes you would have 3 back row and think to yourself, surely one of my back row is gonna stick. That's all I ask. Then your opponent would go, Galaxy Cyclone, Chain Double Cyclone, pop 2 of your cards, normal summon, or activate the Fortress, set the Gear Town, pop the Gear Town with another whatever. You were just like, bro, please. I had 3 back row. Really considering building a TG deck IRL, what's the best place to buy cards? I mean, probably TCG Player or a local card store. I mean, you can probably find better places than TCG Player, but it's going to be the easiest way for you to build a deck. More Karakuri. Right. MCS 17. Monka Giga. The 6 samurai are here. Monka Giga. It's happening. Duel Links Tier 0. All right. So if you guys don't know, the reason that this deck was so ungodly powerful, and actually, did we not have it yet? Was this pre-World Legacies Clash? I guess it was. Do we have the date of what? When this took place? April 6th, 2019. So you would very easily be able to set up a 6 samurai with a dual wield to protect it. Now, you couldn't deal with the 6 samurai with a single card on the field. If you put a second card on the field, you'd get dual wielded. Like, you were in this catch-22. Like, it was whoever went first meant much of the time basically just won the duel. And then you would just go on the follow-up. And in some situations, you would actually be able to end up with Inishi on the field already. So like some of the broken hands would be something like, you know, start with like go double united and a dojo, normal summon an Inishi, dojo effect, bring out a Fuma, united, draw into a Kizan, draw into a dual wield, special the Kizan, put the Kizan plus Fuma into Inishi, or Shien, sorry, set your dual wield, and then it's like, okay, I've got a bounce 2, a bounce 1, and you were just like, well, I guess I die. It was incredibly toxic, and yes, people, look here. We were literally main decking Cypher Soldier just because it was a 1-card answer to Shien. You normal summon the Cypher Soldier, you attack, you're 3350. Beat over the Bozo. Basically, this could beat, Cypher Soldier would beat Shien without Inishi and dual wield. Just, of course, if your opponent then had Inishi, well, good luck, Bozo. And you're gonna see a lot of these decks are very similar. It's just dojos, united, dual wield, and then your 6 samurai boys. Here was a version of asceticism. But in my opinion, at this point in time, asceticism was not the way. It was a dual wield to victory. Here was a Endless Trap Hell variant running the Cypher Soldier and the Sazank to deal with the Shien. As you can tell, these decks are all pretty much the same. This truly was a Duel Links Tier 0 meta. All right, make sure I got that correctly. So yeah, so we are on 18 now. Thank you so much for the follow. Appreciate you. This would have been the release of the Neos structure deck and the other Blue Eyes structure deck. Yes. Wait. Did we get 2 structure decks? Right. It was a mini box. That's right. That's right. That's right. Yeah. So Blue Eyes got access to Whitestone of Ancients, which really made the deck a lot more consistent, obviously. But this would also be the release of the Neos structure deck with Neos Fusion. So here's an example. This is like one of the first true Blue Eyes decks that looks like fairly modern to many of us. Like newer versions would end up playing a lot more traps, like your Karma Cuts and whatnot. But this is, you know, much similar to what people would recognize as a Blue Eyes deck. This was one of the incarnations of a weird control period. So the idea here was to abuse Neos Fusion with AD Changer. So what you would do is you would set either a Sazank or a Gale Lizard. You preferred the Gale Lizard because Gale Lizard guaranteed lethal, but you would set the Gale Lizard, right? Okay, set the Gale Lizard. You'd Neos Fusion into your Brave Neos, discarding a Neos and an AD Changer. You'd AD Changer, flip your Gale Lizard face up, which would return one of your opponent's monsters to hand. And that would be 1400 plus 2600. That was lethal if your opponent didn't have any relevant back row. Neos Fusion from this point onwards would be used for dumping abused cards in the graveyard. If not AD Changer here, you were sending your Bacon Saber for protection. Here's Grucius playing, this is the Steel Swarm version. So what you would do here is you would Neos Fusion, send the Scout. Then on following turns, if I remember correctly, you'd be able to resummon the Scout, which you could use to tribute for the Gira Stag, and you would just be able to just send one card to the graveyard. Just get out of here. A lot of people playing that version of the deck. Another variation of Blue Eyes. Brenduke playing Cyber Darks. So the idea here was you would Neos Fusion, send the Langling, then you could normal summon your Edge. Langling you would attach it to your Edge with Edge's effect. Langling would let you double attack. Kawaki Meru running the same combo. Toxic. More Blue Eyes. And also, yeah, Kaiba Court Bling at this point was being abused to Prismatic and Glossy. So if you guys don't remember, Kaiba Court Bling was lose 1,000 life points, and you would draw Prismatic first, then you would draw Glossies. So you could literally sculpt your hand to be like, have one Prismatic Diamond Core, you know, a Glossy Neos Fusion. So then you would draw your core, then your Neos Fusion. It was kind of silly. too glossy unknown card. So that was 18, so now we're on 19. Blue Eyes continues along with the Kawaki Meru, but here is the rise of Subterror. Minato wins this tournament with Spellbooks, taking advantage of Kaiku the Coast Destroyer here. This is how Kawaki was being played at the time. Pretty toxic. This would have been also we got Red Eyes Fusion during this time. Let us find an example. So, yep, Red Eyes Fusion winning off of the back of Red Eyes / Dragon. And then you would also have the ability to go into Buster Blader. I think. Wait, could you in this one? I actually don't think you can in this one. It was just in the extra deck because you just would attach the Buster Blader to the Red Eyes / when it died. Here we go. So this here, Masked Tribute before it got nerfed. Basically, the idea behind this version of the deck was normal summon your Nemesis Warrior. You have Masked Tribute, which would give you a free level 4 body. You would then use your Nemesis Warrior's effect to bring out an Umastrix with Nemesis Warrior and the Masked Tribute. And then you just controlled the game with Subterror Final Battle and either your Staigo Kraken or your Umastrix. And Nemesis Warrior would return to the field. Get flippin', get flippin', get flippin'. Wayne Keenoff with this was level 6 what is it, 6 and 9 synchro deck. So the idea here was Psychic Wielder could special summon itself, Gillosaurus could special summon itself, Cockadoodle-Doo, Psychic Tracker. You would summon the Photon Cerberus because while it was face up on the field, the turn you summon it, your opponent literally can't activate trap cards. So you would, you would lock down your opponent's ability to interrupt your plays here. This was Psychic Wielder would also pop an opponent's monster based on the attack. Psychic Tracker would baboos. Oh, because if I remember correctly, yeah, a synchro that uses as so like oftentimes you would do something like Wielder. So you would summon Photon Cerberus. You'd special Wielder, special Tracker, use Tracker and Wielder to go into like a, I don't know, friggin' Scrap Archfiend. Pop a card on the field. Wait, no, that's level 7? No, that's 7. So it wasn't with that. It was you would go into either a Stardust Charge Warrior or a Hyper Psychic Riser here. They'd get butt boosted off of the Psychic Tracker. You'd pop a card, your opponent can't use a back row, etc., etc. Regulator. This deck would also play flip monsters just to help trigger the special summon from hand effect. So Mahjong Munia Maidens, if you actually got to use its effect, would draw you a card, which was always nice. Blue Eyes Kawaki, what in the hell? It should surprise no one, by the way, but this deck was incredibly toxic to play against. If they went first and got set up, you would basically lose the game. Unless you exactly had Cosmic Cyclone and exactly hit the Subterror Final Battle. And even then, you would then have to deal with the fact that like Umastrix was still going to banish a card. It was just annoying. MCS number 20. A fairly balanced meta. Look at that. Blue Eyes, Six Samurai, Ancient Gear, Magnet Warriors, Red Eyes, Subterror, Dark Magician, Kawaki, Metaphys, Neo, Spellbooks, Stromberg. Oh my lord. Stromberg! Stromberg! Wild Man winning the tournament with middle-aged mechs. Vino with Spellbooks. Luke Tyler on Giga Chad Triamids. Let's go. A name I shall not say. Six Samurai. At this point, I believe it was... Oh, so we do have the inclusion of World Legacy Clash now. I believe Dojo was at 2 and Inishi was at 1 at this point. So this would have been when we finally got access to the electromagnets. Beta was only accessible as a level up reward, as a one of. A long time ago now, Wanted. Literally off of Black Petra. Okay. Excuse me? Oh, hell no. King Halo bringing the Metaphys with the Lady Assailant of Flame Spice. Flip effect, banish the top 3 cards of your deck, deal 800 to your opponent. So you just hoped to banish your Metaphys monsters. Pro Circuit Scrub. So this was all about using Creature Seizure to give your opponent dumb stuff. Nine-tailed Fox. Survival's End with the Petra again. World Legacy Clash with dual wield in Six Samurai could be really annoying because if you committed 1 body to the field, you got clashed. If you committed 2 cards, you got dual wielded. Running the Tsukiyomi could flip itself face down on summon, and if you did not need to do that on further turns, it could mess with the opponent on summon. That was number 20. 21. All right, we returned to 2 deck. Wait, this was Worlds format again? Okay, yes, this is Worlds format. I was looking at these numbers and I'm like, wait a second, this does not add up to this doesn't add up to 32. So we're back here with Worlds format once again. So ooh, we got the Desperado Barrel Dragon, Return of the Barrel. We have Light and Dark, Six Samurais. This is where you got the meme about from the world's commentators about the color or the attribute status of Six Samurai. Labyrinth Builder became, so this would have been post Masked Tribute nerf. So now we were using Labyrinth Builder to cope into Nemesis Warrior with the Sub-Terrors. Grass Magnets, that Now this right here, this is my deck. Master of Destiny. The original incarnation of Master of Destiny. We're looking at old MCS's Wanted. So Master of Destiny, if you had 5 cards that coin flipped, then you got to make your first 3 coin flips heads. Look at the pinned message, Wanted. This was a Giga Chad deck. Absolutely Giga Chad. I love that deck so much. I wish you could still play it. Cup of Ace being a Pot of Greed. Such a fun deck. King Halo on the Crystron. Playing middle-age mechs to have, what, a target to pop with the Crystron cards? Master of Destiny. So World Legacy Clash was all over the place during this format. World's Legacy Clash was like an OTK machine. And that was 21. Oh no. Oh no. We have arrived. Dark Lords. Negate. Hope you're ready for turn 50 because we're going there. We're going all the way. 3 sanctify. In what world did anyone think access to 3 sanctified, 3 contact, and 3 banishment was acceptable? That's what I want to know. This right here is why pre-hits need to exist. This is cancer. This is absolute cancer. And I can't even remember. Was Beatdown nerfed at this point? It was probably nerfed at this point. Was it still unlimited at this point? I honestly can't remember. I'd have to go double check. Dark Lord versus Dark Lord mirror match. Oh boy. Oh boy. This was fun. This was also fun. This was also fun. Bobby coming in here like a true Giga Chad, being like, I heckin' love Fortune Lady Every. I just want to know. I just want a special summon. This I don't know how this did well during the Dark Lord meta. I'm gonna be like, Every would just get negated. you would just get negated. You were always going to be negated. Like, I guess good luck opening Shadow Imprisoning Mirror. Eugen running the spicy World Legacy Clash. So if you guys don't remember, so was Duel Standby nerfed at this point yet? I think no, it wasn't. So I believe, so you literally, the whole idea was to just like clash or chalice yourself to make it stick. I can't remember exactly. But yeah, this was definitely Master of Destiny versus Dark Lords. This was pretty much the meta. Right. Okay, so this was actually a funny deck. The whole idea here was Diva into Diva. This is where the Diva into Diva meme came from. You would activate Diva, summon a Diva, use your skill, Labyrinth Builder, get the wall, then you could go into Quarion. Just Quarion. You literally had to respond to the Diva. Otherwise, it was like, I'm gonna Quarion you. You're just getting Quarion. Nothing you can do about it. It's coming. You could also go into Black Rose. Not that you would. You could go into, I mean, that was pretty much it. And then Neos Beatdown. That was 22. Dark Lords continue their reign of terror. However, Invoked has arrived on the scene. Normal summon Alistair for your invocation. And keep in mind, we did not have access to Purgatrio at this time. So you would use Flip Flop Frog to go into your Casitas. That was your main. You would just abuse with Casitas. And Casitas was a pain for most people to out. I heckin' love the mirror match. Dark Lord still on the scene. Master of Destiny. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's still 5 coins at this point. Playing the Rebirth of Parshath to get into the Avenging Knight here. Twitch Pro Fur, we are looking at the MCSs. We've been going down memory lane to just look at each and every MCS. Just to kind of see how the meta changed over time. Nightmare Penguin. Triple Casitas jump scare, by the way. That was 23. Invoked. and Black Wings. So MA with Black Wings. We also have Ritual Beast. Full Power Christrons. The true meta threat has arrived. Plain transcendent crystals, so that's why we have the emerald tortoises. Able to dump your stuff to the graveyard. This deck was extremely difficult to pilot, but the people who could pilot it, it was a hell of a deck. More Cancer. More Black Wings, running the close. Here we've we've gotten the Purgatrio. So now the deck has been modifying itself to include fire monsters to take advantage of that. A Rock Bombardment will send the Magma. Interesting. Moving on. So this was actually a pretty funny version of the deck. So if you guys don't know, Scrap Goblin has an effect where it cannot be destroyed by battle. And if it's in defense position and selected as an attack target, you destroy it. So a lot of times what you would do is you would set Scrap Goblin if you went first. Your opponent would attack, summon one monster, attack into it. Or maybe they got more, but you flip one of them down with Floodgate. They attack into the Scrap Goblin. It survives, can't be destroyed. You then normal summon Alistair. Alistair searches for your invocation. You then use your level 3 tuner, your level 4 Alistair. Go for the Black Rose, wipe the field. Then you activate invocation. Get your Purgatrio. Or if you wanted, you could go for your Magellantica. Like if it went through cleanly, you could go for Magellantica, activate Alistair effect, add Alistair back to hand, Magellantica attack. And look at that, 3,000 plus 1,000 boost from Alistair is lethal. Nothing was more exciting than going first against Black Wings. You set all your stuff. Your opponent then goes, hey, True Nade. Activate Simoon effect in hand. Bring out a Black Whirlwind. Just scoop it up at that point. You're done. Dark Lord. We have Element Sabers for the first time. Element Sabers able to modulate for your any of your invoked fusions, and of course giving you access to a Book of Moon effect. That was 24. Element Sabers at this point would take the stage. The meta at this point would be primarily Element Saber, Shiranui Dark Lord, with a little bit of Black Wings as well. But it was mainly these three. So this is going to be the first showing of Shiranui as well, if I'm not mistaken. Ah, yes. The man, the Mythyard, the legend himself. This deck was extremely simple. I mean, we're playing Sealed Tombs here, but that's like not even the normal version that you would play. Let's see if there's other versions here. Oh no. So we're playing Sealed Tombs to deal with Element Sabers and Dark Lords, so makes sense. But look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Flip them down. Flip them down. Put them to defense. Like this. Oh, this was between Canadia, Floodgate Trap Hole, and Element Saber. Oh boy, were we flipping. You thought we were flipping when we got Book of Moon. We've always been flipping. -1 on a fairly classic version of Invoked Element Saber. Sorcery Conduit at this point was only 1,000 life points to activate. So you would activate Cosmic Cyclone and draw Sense Alistair. Monka Giga, he coming. Oh Lord, he coming. Was 25. So Dark Lord's taking a bit of a hit here. I believe they will have been received another ban list hit, if I'm not mistaken. Luke Tyler winning his first MCS, I believe. We got Dark Magical Circle. What an absolutely toxic deck. Triple Rod, Triple Circle, Triple Nav. You love to see it. And by love, I mean hate. Ah, yes. So here was the introduction of Grassanui. So this deck loved to take advantage of a unique interaction of Burgeoning Whirlflame. So you didn't care about the effect other than the graveyard effect. The graveyard effect, and so you wanted to get into the graveyard. You did not want to set this. This did not go on the field. You can banish 2 fire monsters from your graveyard, add it to your hand, and because it's a trap effect, you can activate it at any point. So you would be able to banish stuff like Spirit Master on your opponent's turn to just pop one of your opponent's monsters. So you played Spell Specialist so that you played 5 different spells, and you would always, I think it was like you had one of them in your hand no matter what, if I remember correctly. So either you got the Gold Sark, which helped you combo, you got the Enemy Controller, which is a heckin' good card, you got the Clash, which is a good card, you got the Mistaken Arrest, which was good against a lot of decks, and then most of the time you would get your Grass Looks Greener, get milling, dump all this stuff into the graveyard. It was all about getting the Whirlflame into the graveyard, and then once you got it into your hand, you could just banish a Squire. You draw a card and then discard a card. Just discard the Whirlflame right back into the graveyard to use again. I can take a quick break. I'll be right back, guys. Just like 1 or 2 minutes. Streamer gone. Madge, where's Streamer? So yeah, Grasanui, people would widely consider that the best version of Shiranui that ever existed. Eventually, Grass would get banned, and it would go back to being the trap version, which people, the vast majority of people, did not consider quite as interesting. And while I liked the trap version of it, I understand where that sentiment comes from, and I can agree. It was a very fun version of the deck. It could be extremely frustrating though. We have somebody coping with Dark Lord, or sorry, not Dark Lords, Thunder Dragons here. This version of the deck, this would have been pre-Levianeer, pre-Levianeer. So it was using Plague Spreader Zombie to go into your level 7 and 8 synchros. You didn't have a great pool, but it was still big ungas. More Grasanui. Here's a trap version of the deck. This is what your trap version basically looked like. Yep, flip, yep, flip, yep, flip, yep, negate. And that was number 26. Number 27, Dark Magician takes center stage. We are back to 2-deck format. That we flip-flopped between different between the two formats fairly often. A lot of times it was just either for deck diversity purposes or, you know, just kind of wanting to you know, make it an enjoyable format. But so Zerdy with Dark Magician and Invoked Element Saber. Well, here's an unholy combination. First of all, running 30 card Ritual Beast and just what in the toxic nonsense is this? Right, my monster cards. Right. Two. So I guess we didn't have the we did not have the restriction on. Okay. Well, we're just playing double Grass Shiranui. Ah, Cyber Dragons. Go, Cyber Dragon Core! During your end phase, I will flip over Cybernetic Overflow. I will destroy your monster in one of your back row. I will then activate Cyberload Fusion, summoning out Chimera Rampage Dragon. Rampage Dragon will destroy your other two back row. Hello, Itzer. If this deck went first against you and set up Overflow and Fusion, it was Jover. It was just Jover. You had to be like randomly running Sphere Karibo. Jesus. Gift, who hurt you? DD Sprite Thunder Dragons, Banish, get the effect. Seeing the Grass Thunder Dragons, no. Grass invoked Synchron. Ah, yes. Beautiful. Love it. That was 27. The meta has diversified, but stagnated a little bit here. You can see that it is really diverse. Element Saber the most entered, but the top cut extremely diverse here. Buns on Black Wings running triple backbird close. What a war crime. Wayne Keenoff playing Transcendent Crystal Crystron. Aru on the... So at this point, I believe Sorcery Conduit was hit, so we just switched to Destiny Draw, right? Excuse me, what the... Kaito on Baggy... So this, I believe this Baggy Sleeves was pre-nerf. So every time, you could trigger it basically every turn. This version of Thunder Dragons minus the Amaterasu was like hella cope. I'm sorry, you never got to do this. You were better off just playing another copy of Artifact Vajra. This version of Thunder Dragons was a lot of fun, in my opinion. It was extremely difficult to OTK. I mean, it was possible, but you were running the Sphere Karibos to deal with your Purgatrios. You had the Vajra to deal that could like help you from other OTKs. It was a lot of fun. And then you had nifty synchro plays you could make. I enjoyed this version of Thunder Dragons quite a bit. Our boy Mythyard once again invoked Shiranui. More Crystron. Alternative Evolution Blue Eyes on the scene. Divine Wrath and Raigeki Break for the stones. Maiden with Eyes of Blue not being a meme. Oh, Lord. Oh, Lord. Unironically playing Maiden with Eyes of Blue. How do we out her? How do we out her? The Cyber Dragons are starting to coalesce around the correct build. The number of monsters is slowly reducing. Smaller, smaller. Just get rid of a couple more. You're almost there. Just a couple more. You're so close. Go, Cyber Dragon Core. We have, yeah. So Invoked Magician Girls, actually unironically a version of the deck that saw some experimentation. They had the attributes you were looking for and had good combat trick effects. And then K just out of nowhere. Okay, so I believe we got the Gladiator Beast structure deck, which gave people were coping a little bit that it would make Gladiator Beasts work again. Gladiator Beast Charge is a hell of a card. Problem? Getting multiple Gladiator Beasts on the field. Not easy. Geysaris, also a hell of a card. This is a hell of a card. But hello, Lightsworn. This is the proverbial Duel Links ladder player in the MCS. Every time that you roll against someone and they go Charge of the Light Brigade into Solar Recharge, into Charge of the Light Brigade, into Normal Summon, you know, Lumina, discard, bring out... Every time that happened, the elite was channeling their energy. Yes, get it twisted. That's number 28. The meta remains fairly diverse here. Shiranui, Thunder Dragons, Dark, and you are seeing some consolidation, less of the one-ofs, way more in the couple decks. This is going to be coming to April. So this is going to be in. So this was DSOD into. We're now deep into Synchro era. Level augmentation, Shiranui. This is pre-nerf level augmentation. So you would, the common way that people would play it would be, you know, Shiranui Squire, bring out the Spectral Sword, reveal the Solitaire or the, you know, whatever other level to augment and make it level 6. Then immediately go into your Sun Saga and just chill on your 35 protected boy. Later versions would use level duplication, and what you would end up doing is go into level 8 into the Shogun Saga, which would let you you would set up for the next turn, because then you would you'd banish the Squire, for example, to draw and discard, get Millen, etc. Level augmentation was what most people played, but the secret spice was actually duplication. Levianeer has arrived on the scene, and Thunder Dragons will never be the same again. We're still on baggy sleeves. We're charging. We're sarcophagusin'. Nothing was more toxic than to like go Chaos Dragon Levianeer effect, activate your opponent, your opponent does whatever, maybe they're gonna flip it face down or something. You're like, chain enemy controller, tribute the Chaos Dragon Levianeer, econ take one of your opponent's monsters, nuke their other back row. If you were ever on the opposing end of a Levianeer into econ take, it was the most infuriating thing in the world because there was basically nothing you could do about it. You were just done. Grit heroes, Monka Giga Grit heroes. More Crystron. See you later, heroes. See you later was also a fun skill pre-nerf. More getting it twisted. Duel Link style. That was number 29. Black Wings, Thunder Dragons, Crystron, Dark Magician, Masked Hero. So this was like, this was our eternal format. It just wouldn't end. It kept going and going and going. Oh, hell no. Oh, hell no. Grucius on No Mortal Can Resist, Ritual Beast, Toxic AF, Needle Sealing, Stealing Games for literally years. No Mortal was just everywhere. Destiny Hero Plasma. This is full-on Vision Hero Ferris, Trinity Crush, Adoration, Anki BS. Crystron's still holding their own. We continue to remove Cyber Dragons from our Cyber Dragon deck. Oh. Yosenju, running Shadow Game. Pre-nerf, get burnin'. Playing our Defense Draw, playing our Drowning Mirror Force, playing our Sword Sting, Kite Roid, and Oh Yam. To keep us from being killed on the crackback. Harpy's Hunting Ground, Keck W. People like this are why they gave Crow that new skill. Alrighty, that was 30. Crystron's up to 9 in the top cut and the most played. Oh, wait a second. Okay, before looking at it, is this going to be the Sea Stealth version or is it still pure? I can't actually remember. Nope. It's not. Oh wait, nope, okay. Yep. The Christrons have morphed. We achieved Undyne, Gen X Undyne. You saw, so obviously Herbal did not play it, but a lot of Crystron decks would now start running Citadel Whale because of how easy it was to access with Undyne. Huh? Oh. Buns, are you like hella free to play out here? What's going on? They continue to evolve. The monsters decrease each and every MCS. We're so close. Just one more. One more. And the original Goki. If some of you may not know, Goki was a deck in Duel Links before the Link monsters. Literally, it was just like a resource value deck. You literally just played all these traps and then just used, you know, tribute them. That's fine. I'm going to search a monster. I'm just going to outvalue you. Oh, Raymond, you're going in the wrong direction. Ooh, Mayakashi. Mayakashi. You would not see this deck do very well very often. Heavy starter version of Cristrons, running the tricky Sulfefnir and a Machina Fortress, hoping to start with Sulfefnir in hand. Duplication Giga Chad. And that was 31. Dark Magician rising once again, but still fairly diverse. Anything? This format just went on forever, dude. We're shrinking it down. Show of Nightmares to get one of these back. Master of Fusion Heroes. Oh, here we go. Witchcrafters on the scene. Madame Vare, the Toxic Negate. Neos Fusion, able to dump like a Schmeta, etc. Playing the best traps of the time. Because heck, if you discard a spell, a Witchcrafter spell, who cares? You're getting it back anyways. Sealing the Tombs. More duplication Giga Chads. This meta really did just go on forever, didn't it? That was 32. Invoked Neos, Element Saber, Shiranui, Black Wings. It just won't stop. The truly eternal format. Seeing the inclusion of Volcanic Shell in the invoked deck. We're just scrolling. A lot of these deck lists are kind of the same. What we've been seeing already. Flapping Cheeks. Monkey Boy. That was 33. So Karakuri and Witchcrafter. So Karakuri would have gotten their new support at this point. Arrow Mages. Oh no. The new support was Burrito, if I'm not... Burrito and Kununzman. And what else? What else did they get? Did they get... Was it the Gamma Oil? Or no, the Cash-In. The Cash-In. Duplication, Switcheroo, Endless Trap Hell, Goki. This would have been pre-nerf. So Serenity was a funny case where they were extremely free to play and would play on other people's accounts. And if I'm not mistaken, I believe this MCS, I think they played this deck because they couldn't use anybody else's account at the time or something. And so they were like, well, the only deck I own is Aroma on my main account. And then like proceeded to get top 8 with it. I'm not even joking. I'm like 99% sure that's what happened. There were multiple times that Serenity approached me and was like, hey, can I borrow your account? And I was like, no. A, because I don't let people borrow my account, and B, because I'm going to be judging and I need to be able to go into duel rooms. But yeah, I don't believe this was a meta call. I believe this was literally, I can't borrow anybody else's account. Like, screw it. I'm gonna play the deck again. Like, don't get me wrong, this deck was low-key annoying for a lot of decks to deal with. But anyways, yeah, Serenity's a goat. Stromberg, Grenmaju, OTKing, even in Duel Links. Show of Nightmare, Witchcrafter. More Show of Nightmare, Witchcrafter. So Grass would have been 1 at this point. Now it's 34. Right? Night Beam was played to, I believe it was played specifically to stop navigation. $35. The meta continues to exist forever. Here we have the inclusion of Sealing Ceremony. Okay, so this was a more another combo version of Shiranui. They received Ghost Meets Girl. They would include Sealing Ceremony of Catan. Shiranui, this deck lasted forever. Right, Hans is correct. Hans is correct too. But we didn't have MST. Cosmic was at 3, and yeah, you couldn't play it with Charge. Charge and the Witchcrafter Revive was at 3. Oh wait, was it? Triple Storm. We got access to form change, so people were using Koga and Blast in the variants of heroes. Oh no. Invoked Roids, oh no. Play in the Megaroid City. You would normal summon your Alistair. You'd use Megaroid City on it to get whatever Roid you needed. Either the Rescue Roid for fire, the Submarine Roid for water, or the Kite Roid if you already had access to one of the others or just needed protection. Oh my lord, this deck, it was toxic. Combo Karakuri. Set up that broken turn 1. That was 35. Shiranui, Crystron, Invoked Magician Girls, Karakuri. The meta continues, so combo Shira coming in, and Invoked switching over to Magician Girls. Crystron with its W here at the hands of Daniel YGO. Invoked Magician Girls. Draw Sense Dark for your Alistair. Alistair finds a way. We were running Fusion Reserves as well. Like, this card ended up getting hit just to try and stop people from... Stop searching for Alistair, damn it! Lord of Scrubs. Playing Allured Thunder Dragons. -1 is on... Okay, wait a second. So if I remember correctly, Inverse Universe was like a spicy tech specifically against Shiranui. You'd attack in with like you'd go to OTK with Shiranui, like Samurai Saga. And then you were like, congratulations, you now have 0 attack and like 5,500 defense. Spicy tech, I liked it. Man, Crystron lasted a lot longer than I remember. In my head, they did not last this long. I was 36. Bum, bum, bum. Invoked Neos and Desperado. What brought Desperado back into the limelight? So Fire Reload was our skill of choice at this point with Invoked. Stalling with the Winda. Fire Reload to get to the Volcanic Shell. Ooh, Sorcery Con... Oh God, Haru, no! Oh, Jesus Christ. Winda, Sangan, Kiteroid, Battle and Boxer Veil, friggin' Megaroid City, Flip, Negate, Pop. Oh my God, what is... Oh my God, and Invoked Heroes, no! If you guys don't know the meme of Invoked Heroes, there was a member of the community who would literally pay the entry of people to enter with Invoked Heroes. Literally would pay... Yes. Oh my God, literally paid actors. Oh God. It didn't even have any synergy. And Master of Destiny making its way back into the meta. Was it really because of Gear Frame? So this is December. Gear Frame came out in March. No. Right. Yes. Casitas banned. Right. So Casitas was gatekeeping out Desperado, Barrel Dragon, Master of Destiny. Thank you. I totally spaced that. Right. So Casitas pushed this out of the meta. With Casitas gone, oh, we can flip coins again. Oh, we flipping again. Right. I don't know why I forgot that. I was just spacing it. You saw a couple different interesting builds. So like, you see like the Black Salvo builds to do some level 7 shenanigans. Oh no. Out of nowhere, Megalith Giga Chad. Wasn't Jashir Nui boss monster also? I mean, a little bit, sure, but that's not really that big of an issue. So Triamid Sphinx came to the scene as well a little bit before then. Zaga playing Goki, taking advantage of Necro Valley. That was 37. Blue Eyes and Noble Knights to the scene. What do you mean we're close to Dark Lords? Don't you mean again? All right, so here we are in January. We got the Noble Knight structure deck. Blue Eyes to the meta as well because of Alternative Dragon coming from the anniversary event. They weren't hyping it. It was the fact that it was 3-deck format, actually. Desperado was part of the meta because they started, both of the top decks in the meta were light. So Desperado just started playing Ally of Justice Quarantine and basically going like, good luck. But yeah, Blue Eyes got alternative. So Saku winning with Thunder Dragons. Congratulations. Drizzles on Invoked. Not playing Quarantine here though. I think they might have started to play Quarantine after this. -1 here with an example of the balanced version of Noble Knights. They got access until Noble Arms are needed once again. We got the Merlin. Ultimate Dragons with the alternative. The modern Blue Eyes that you know and love. Ah, here we go. Yep. This is what I remembered. Neither player can special summon light monsters. Good luck, gamer. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this is after the nerf requiring 7 coin flip cards. Hell yeah. This is my Blue Eyes right here. Karma Cut and Raigeki Break. Hell yeah, brother. So close. That was 38. Thunder Dragons, Desperado, Blue Eyes, and Noble Knights. What? Monka Giga. Monka Giga. The water deck is coming. Monka Giga. -1, winning the tournament with 30 card balance. Noble Knight. Having to run the Book of Moon now to deal with the quarantine. Masaryk. Reg Trainer. Let's go, baby! Normal summon Diva. Special summon the Atlantean Heavy Infantry. Activate Territory of the Sharks. Going into the Abyss Dweller. That's what I'm talking about. Yo, what up, Kamel? How you doing, bro? From this point onwards, Water Xyz and eventually Mermail Atlantean would literally never change. Well, I mean, not change, but this deck would be in and out and in and out of the meta forever from this point onward. Ooh. Ooh, we got the first on a Mott deck. Swordbreaker, Gagaga Samurai, Roach, Sin, Bouncer, Dweller, M7. Doesn't quite have the tools that it needs yet, but we're getting there. It's the warning sign. The herald of what is to come. Minimum Ray. Come on now. Got ourselves some Giga Chad Fire Kings on the scene. The GOAT himself, Victor Lee, making top 16. Erickson refusing to give up and showing us Draw Sense, Spell Trap version of the Dark Lords. Onomats. Level duplication, allowing us to take advantage of our various Xyz monsters. Hieratic Sun Dragon Overlord. Goated. Oh no. Oh hell no. The Teller Knights from this point onwards. Oh hell no. We're moving on. We're gonna have to see more of this nonsense in the future. We're moving on. Just know that more of that is coming. 39. And here we are at MCS number 40. And we got Water Xyz just absolutely dominating the chart here. But Monka Giga, Star Seraph Dark Lords, Stick Chair Dark Lords in the grand finals, winning the whole thing 3D with Territory of the Sharks. We just need to see our Dweller or our Hope Woven Dragon Spider Shark. It don't matter. So if you guys don't remember this version of the deck, it was extremely high roll. Oh my lord, was this deck high roll. If you didn't see Diva, you probably lost to that game. But you prayed. You prayed that you opened up Diva, then like Lance, Book, Tretch. And then it was just like, oh, you just pray. Just pray. And here we go. Stick Chair Dark Lords. 3 Star Seraph Scepter, 3 Star Seraph Sovereignty. The goal here was to have a Sovereignty in hand. Normal summon your Scepter. Scepter get a Sovereignty. Sovereignty effect. Get them both to the field. Go into your Evil Swarm Ouroboros or your Deltaros. And the Dark Lord engine, you'd be drawing off of this, popping. Once you got everything else rolling, the engine would be you would use your Dark Lord engine to finish things out. Oh Jesus. Weather Painter taking top 4. Thundery Canvas, get bouncing. Invoked, Fire King, and Pure Fire King. More Stick Chair Dark Lord. Hazaris on a Territory of the Shark. Like, you played like 12 and 8 basically. Limit 3, limit 3, limit 2, limit 3. The original BS OTK sack deck that you couldn't do anything about. The thing about these water decks too, like, unfortunately, water's always been kind of just like a solved deck. Even like, I think the new versions have some wiggle room, but like these decks were pretty much solved, like from the get-go. It was one of the unfortunate things about that particular list, or that particular version of the deck. It was fun to play, but it was like hella solved. There was like nothing you could do to really innovate it. And now we have Harpies. FA Star Seraph Dark Lords. Oh Lord, the Car Lords are here. The Car Lords are here. See if we can find a version of it. Blue Eyes. Again, I would like to tell you, Serenity was hella free to play. And sometimes the free to play decks they just worked. They just worked. Incredible. Okay, obviously, hold on. This version is obviously not free to play. I'm making fun of the fact, but this was a meta call, obviously. Actually, I can't remember though. I think Serenity may have gotten a hold of Book of Moons, but then like didn't really have anything to put. I'd have to talk to. I'd have to talk to Serenity again about it, but anyways, the original Harpies. Triple Swallow's Nest, Lightning Vortex, Offerings to the Doom, playing Ties That Bind, doesn't even care about the field. Giga Chad doesn't care, head judging. Well, thank you for the kind words, New Wave. We're getting pretty close to the end, and once we finish up here, I will call it. I do need to eat and then get ready to chillax before going to bed, but you know, I do want to finish this. So we got Onomot here, Blue Eyes still. Come on, where's the Car Lords at? Where's the Car Lords at? Ready for Victory. I remember this version. Trying to take advantage of the Shocktopus with the salvage and the depth. We got access to 3 depth charge. Drowning Mirror Force, hella giga Chad. 30 card Harpies taking advantage of the Hysteric Sign. We got the Neos Fusion. Send the Harpist. More Onomot play. 25 cards here. That was 41, so 42. Oh, Jesus. Holy sh... 17 out of 32. Yep. Nothing hurt more than to go second against this deck. Which month was this? This was May 8th, 2021. This was the MCS when the Onomot skill was buffed, but the effect wasn't applied yet. Thank you. So yeah, what more is there to say? Your opponent, you'd go first against, or you'd go second into Harpies. They'd have Book of Moon, Treacherous Trap Hole, and like Swallow's Nest or something. And it just felt like, well, okay, guess I lose. This is also the result of lots of nerfs to a bunch of decks, making Harpies like the clear dominant deck. It's just Now, Fire Kings technically had a pretty good matchup against Harpies, just because Harpies really didn't have an answer for the constant board nuke, except OTK. But usually when Garunix would go off, it was like Harpies expended all their resources already. Jet ski with the random water Xyz. Let's go. That's 42. Resonators out of nowhere. So this would have been the release of the Demon's Resonance skill, if I remember correctly. And then, yep, don't worry about it. Shiranui's still a thing, despite being hella nerfed. Just keep in mind, you could no longer play Squire. Solitaire was hit. Like, this was the most cope. Oh my lord. Hello, Barox. Oh, and it was a mirror in the finals. That's right. But original Resonators with Demon's Resonance was it was a pretty fun deck. I mean, I don't know what to say. But yes, Goblin of Greed was searchable off of Demon's Resonance, and would help you against highest Giga Chad. Was good against Thunder Dragon. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Just randomly drop a god on your opponent. Giga Chad, what are you gonna do about it? Nothing. That's what you're gonna do. That was 43. Oh, hell no. One meta after another with one deck just taking it all. So Kanzawa did win this with Thunder Dragons, the deck that would literally never die. We're seeing the inclusion of the fortress here. You got the Sphere Karibo, the fortress. We're keeping ourselves alive. Frost and Spell Trap to get to our Melody or our Sarcophagus. Automata play. Going for the Rhinoceros. Going for the Malevolent Sin. Going for the Excalibur or the M7. You thought you handled him. Sorry. On the next turn, Gaga head. Start it all over again. Terrific still on Harpies. Onomat. Gaga Sister has another effect. The random Gaia just at full power Onomat, just the random Gaia. Just show, hey, yeah, I'm here too. Giga Chad Zaga. Refresh also on it. Lorenzo Roma. And that was 44. The Onomot domination continues. Tier 0 pilot. If anyone ever tries to say that pilot ain't tier 0, in a tier 0 meta, he's the one who won it. Up against Cooper in the mirror. There we go. That's what I've been waiting for. There's my boy. 4 Monster Sidra. Let's go. My Cyber Dragons don't need my Cyber Dragon deck don't need no monsters. So stupid. Oh, love it. Shoma randomly stalling people out. Absolutely cringe. Thunder Dragons continue to not die. Trap Dexter, Haru. Yo, bro, Maiko. Playing Set Delta XL TG. This is your trap version. We scrolling. Not much to say other than, yeah, Onomat is a hell of a deck. More Set Delta XL Trap Genus. Serenity got to borrow somebody's deck again. That's 45. Onomats have been slapped at this point, so Harpy's return. Nick's winning it all with Lunalight, Goomba, the original water enjoyer. More Lunalight. The Dragon's Night Path running Archfiend Eccentric. My boy Neo. Top 16 with Melodious. More Lunalight. Future Fusion. Jesus Christ. Oh, hell yeah, /no. Oh, hell yeah, /no. Magnetic Field, all the revives. Yes, yes. We go in sicko mode, yes. Maestro running Necro Fusion. That was 46. The Harpy domination continues. Serenity winning it all with Melodious. Melodious versus Gaia in the finals. So with Territory of the Shark, Crystron. Oh, Jesus, look at this. Look, we had the Odd Eyes Advanced Dragon that people would use. They would summon the Chaos Dragon Levianeer, get poppin', tributed it over with the Advanced Dragon, get poppin' again. Bacon with Shell of a Ghost Infernity, making it to top 16. So this is going to be Contract Procrastination DDD before it got any of its good stuff, but it got to ignore its payments. Oh, what the hell? Oh, look at these awful friggin', oh my lord. Literally just sit on which. Block of Destiny. First inclusion of that here. More Clock of Destiny. Ooh, Tanuki for hire with Ninja Invoked. Sure. So we would ninjutsu Art of Super Transformation our opponent's monster to go into Keeper of Dragon Magic. How can you view the top deck lists? So just go to duellinksmeta.com/tournaments. And then go to the MCS tab and scroll. Oh, it's a pro feature? Oh, that's unfortunate. I'm sorry, guys. I didn't realize that's a pro feature. So that was 47. The meta is healing a bit, but jeez. Thunder Dragons really were meta for like 2 years, weren't they? Young Summer, there was a tournament earlier. Water Xyz taking first place. Congrats, Zaga Zaga. Beating out friggin' Triamids in the finals. Yeah, this meta. This meta. Oh, Enzo on flight control TG though. That's pretty based. Wreck on gimmick puppets. That's pretty Chad. Khalid on Shooting Star Road Arrow Mage? Huh? Okay, I remember that now. What a weird deck list. Wild. You know, the more I look at this stuff, the more it's hard to be upset at the idea. Like, man, they may have killed some decks at some times, but if you invested in other decks, that deck was legal forever. Holy Jesus. We have seen Thunder Dragon for like the last 20. Wasn't this the weakest format? Yes. $48. $49. Diversity. There's a bunch of different decks, but it's all kind of the same things that we've seen. Serenity winning again with Gaia. Andrew on TG. Simon on Witchcrafter. Man, anything can win in this format. Damn. How can you view the top 16 deck lists of what, Young Summer? Of what event? You can't. We only publish certain ones. We publish the top 4 for the single elimination and the top 16 for the Swiss. Oh. No, okay. Okay. So we got the new Cyber Dragon skill, but this is not the way. This is not the way. We have regular TG, aka the fun one. Pendulum Gazers. Hans, would you like to talk about this one? At the beginning of the duel, add a pendulum zone in addition. If you have a Stargazer or Time Gazer in your pendulum zone, add... Are you even playing them? Okay, you're playing the Stargazer. Oh. Refresh on BA. Now, we're not going to see any more of these, unfortunately, because this is where the MCS stops. There's one more, and that like takes place way later. Trentwick would go on to top events with Noble Knights for like months after the fact. So for anybody that doesn't know, this MCS is the final MCS before Decade stopped doing them. There would be one more that was held as a special one for the Vrain's World launch. So unfortunate so it's a very diverse meta, but a very weak one. Got righty driver, lefty driver to let us get into the Suki Nocho. into the Goyo defenders to get into Dante? What are you doing? Rugenary, stop. Here's an example of what Buster Blader would turn into. Would people be interested in MCS again if there was a $10 entry? I doubt it. I don't know. It just wouldn't have the hype behind it without Decade. Nobody in the Duel Links community currently has the ability to command the number of eyes. Level tuning Evil Eye was actually a pretty cool deck. So this deck would try and win off of Medusa with Celine to get Giga Chad huge, but level tuning at some point would allow you to just randomly Utopia Ray your opponent, which was pretty amusing. Sealed Tomb, Abyss Actor, Moab Dell. So let's go back to the top real quick. So again, this would be the final MCS in January, right before the release of Master Duel, about 10 days before, roughly, something like that. Maybe a couple less, I can't remember. Very diverse meta, but a very weak one. The meta would get strong again in a couple months and would actually then go into a series of arguably tier 0 formats one after another. But we can go take one final look at the final MCS held by Decade in September of Reigns. And would you look at that? Salamangreat, huh? $15 Salamangreat in the top 30. Yeah, Salamangreat, like on Vrain's launch, Salamangreat was literally why are you playing anything else? And why? Well, Abada said, because I'm still gonna OTK the ever-living crap out of you. Obata winning this one with Command of the Doom King DDD. Second place with Khan, playing Gazelle and Roar. Econ as well. Grucius on Odd Eyes. Zhang Ke and Zhang Shen. I mean, the top four actually kind of diverse here. So we have Galaxy Eyes, Odd Eyes, Salamangreat, and DDD in the top four. I mean, not so bad, I suppose. The old version of Galaxy Eyes. Bellafiore with Burning Abyss. We had Beatrice at this point. 30 card. Triple crosswipe. Triple crackdown. Oh no. Oh no. Playing Storm Access because why not? The random Harpy player. CC Mello with Wounded Hero. -1 on a very clean and tight 20 card salad. Rafitsu still coping with the Rose Dragons. Kaito's playing Goki on Storm Access. Zaga, Quebra, Solomon. Oh, okay. This was actually fun to watch. On World Legacy. More heroes. Random Dark Magician. Sure, why not? Let's read Resiline's coat message here. It's nice to see DDD, BA, and all these other decks that fell off during the last couple months of Rose meta come back to join Salamangreat in the new world meta. Salamangreat really struggles against big monsters, even against a simple Beatrice, which I think actually opens up the format to a wider range of decks than what Rose Dragon did to the last meta. Oh, Reseline, you were so naive. You were so naive. Yeah. That would be our little retrospective going over each and every single one of the MCSs that was held by Duel Links Meta and Decade. Going from here, they would run 3 Master Duel MCSs. Wrong one. They would run 3 more MCSs, but they were Master Duel. I can't. I'm gonna say this and try and be like, as far as I kind of just get the impression that DK did not want to basically be beholden to an MCS. So the MCSs used to be a monthly thing, and they would happen every month without fail. Every month you would have an MCS. And I believe Decade got tired of doing that. They've done 3 of them, Hans. Are you sure? I'm pretty sure it's 3. Yes, MBT has hosted more. I'm pretty sure it's more than 2. It has to be more than 2. I'm pretty sure it's 3. I don't know why. I mean, I'm not. We're never gonna be able to understand the why, other than to assume that, just the MCS was kind of a time and place thing, I guess. Like, for anybody who has hung around through this retrospective, the MCS was very lucky that you had a community that came together and was willing to basically not only self-fund, okay? Because keep in mind, every MCS was self-funded. $10 entry to get into the tournament. And then on top of that, a lot, like the first 10 MCSs had very large donations of money from the community because everyone was just hyped about it. And that kept the hype train for each and every subsequent MCS going, because people, a lot of those donations happened during the tournaments themselves, right? So a lot of people would be, you'd be wondering like, oh, is Knight Raider gonna show up this time and make a big donation? Is Nerd Chic gonna come in and make a donation? Is Justin gonna make a donation? Are we gonna see, like, you know, the prize pool shoot up from like 1,400 to like 2,000? Like, it was pretty, like, those donations were cool and people enjoyed donating. Even the later ones, you would still get a couple $100. Like, you weren't getting the like hundreds of dollars, but you would get like $200-300 donations that would bump up the prize pool a little bit, and that was fun. On top of that, throughout the vast majority of the MCSs, except near the end, at the very end, like the overall diversity of the game was fairly high, I would say. Like, yes, there was probably like a half dozen metas where you know, it was like 16, 17 plus, but for a lot of the metas, it was actually fairly diverse. Obviously, certain decks stuck around for a long time, but the individual dynamic of each meta was fairly interesting. Like, there were good ones, there were bad ones, but you always wondered what is the meta of this particular MCS going to be? What is the stamp of this? Like, what is the history of this particular meta? MBT has tried to do that, I think, with his MCSs, but he actually had a conversation with Gage. I believe it was yesterday or the day before. So I was actually watching Gage's stream while he was playing some Master Duel, and MBT was talking to him. They were having like a voice chat, and he was basically talking about how like a couple things made the MCS for his MCS for the Master Duel not quite what he wanted it to be. They're gonna do more, I believe he said, and it's gonna be like in September or October, something like that. But like, one, he talked about how self-funding kind of killed it for him. Like, because if you guys don't know, he basically put up the money for the entire prize pool, or a good chunk of it. They didn't really have very many sponsors for it. Basically, he said that they had to prove themselves to get sponsorship. And then two, the meta was just not interesting. While MBT himself is a huge fan of tier limits, he basically straight up admitted like the meta was boring. And again, how to put this? People may like the tier limit meta, and I'm not out here trying to dog on tier limits. I hate tier limits. I think it's a bad deck. But he said that even as somebody that loves tier limits, it was not good content. It was not good to watch. That like, so I think outside of a few specific metas, Master Duel has kind of struggled from the fact that a lot of the metas have been fairly centralized. Very early Master Duel was interesting because like everything was up in the air. You could play whatever you want. It eventually started to narrow down. You had your virtual world, you had your Tri-Brigade Zodiac, you had your Drytron and whatnot. But even then, there was a bit of variety early on. But I think it is fair to say that over time, Master Duel has constricted itself as far as what decks are viable. It's opening up a bit more now, but it has never really had a truly open format, except very early on. And unfortunately, there were no MCSs for those. Well, there was the one. There was the first Master Duel MCS. But after that, like, all the big tournaments have been in what many would argue are fairly, at best, it's fair to call them mid formats, or okay formats. Like, had Decade continued the dueling MCSs, like, don't get me wrong, MCS 51 through 60 would be fairly meh as well, just because Vrain's format did see a lot of like very narrow metas of like, you know, your Salamangreat into Mech Knight into, you know, Phantom Knight, etc. So you would have seen a bit of the same thing happen through dueling, like later Duel Links MCSs had they happened, but at this point we don't know, unfortunately. And it is possible that some people could conceivably come together and do some more big tournaments, but they're not going to be the same as an MCS, just because, as we stated very early on in the conversation, Decade had a unique opportunity to build up a base of support very early on that was willing to come back again and again and again for those MCSs over the course of 4+ years, right? No other person in this space has been able to come even close. You've had DLE try, and don't get me wrong, DLE has done, they're literally the second best by like numbers and whatnot for the ability to do something like an MCS. And during the GG Tour period, I would argue a lot of people would actually have looked at those $500 tournaments and been like, it's not the MCS, but it's literally the second best thing, right? Unfortunately, those now no longer exist, and what has replaced them, I have not tried to do a big tournament, but DLE at least has a bit of an organization behind them, in that they have a couple people working to you know, get the sponsorship, shake hands, have the experience with that. I just started doing the Meta Weekly one day because I wanted the Meta Weekly to continue, and then eventually I got frustrated with the state of the Meta Weekly and went out on my own to start doing my own tournaments. Then Decade raised the prize pool, made the Meta Weekly free entry for subs, and raised the prize pool up to $50, and I was happy again. Like, it goes without saying that I personally have continued to do the Meta Weekly, for example, because I want to make sure, like, that's an up to $50 prize pool, right? Yes, you have to be sub to Decade, but there are people that are sub to Decade, and I love the fact that we can continue to have that $50 up to $50 prize pool each week. Okay, so that's why I still do that. But I've gone out on my own to a degree to try and run these events. But even I mean, don't get me wrong, and this isn't, you know, I've done what I can to try and continue this stuff, and I would say I'm probably like, I don't know, top 5 as far as the ability to keep stuff going. Obviously you have DLE, you've got people like Latom, you got Quantum, you got me, you got some of the other ones like the AU Weekly. You've got the Japanese events, so that a lot of us don't necessarily get to see a lot of. Have any other sponsors? No. And part of the problem is, again, I don't have the institutional knowledge to understand like how you even find sponsorships. No, CM Schofield. So the last couple hours have been us just, if you read the pinned message, so the MCS Discord for the Duel Links MCS apparently got deleted, and we basically, the last couple hours was just looking at each and every single MCS and basically reminiscing. That's it. I mean, I assume it was I don't know when it happened. One of my fellow moderators, Eli, just asked me this morning. He was like, "Hey, did something happen to the Duel Links MCS Discord?" And I was like, I don't think so. Hold on. And I went and looked, and I noticed that the Discord is just gone. So I mean, don't get me wrong, the Discord was dead, and I randomly like stuffed it in a folder somewhere, but I was like, yes, it's gone. And because of all that history being removed, I was like, let's go look at the, I mean, it's not weird. Why would you keep around a Discord you don't care about anymore? I'm a sentimental fool, and I like the idea that it existed. I like that right now I can go to the Clan Wars Discord and put a Sag emoji in there. Is the Clan Wars Discord ever gonna do? I don't know. But again, so anyways, and CM Schofield, I'm not trying to turn this into a like raise the pitchfork situation. That's not the goal here. Like, it's literally just a, okay, but again, who cares? Move on at this point. It was a good opportunity to sit here and reminisce about the MCSs because they had a profound, like, no one can ever take the MCSs away from this community. They are forever gonna be one of the best contiguous series of tournaments held by any game for anywhere. Like, there is, I would challenge anyone to find a game that had a better continuous history of tournaments than the MCS. I don't think it exists. And so I think that it's just something we're celebrating, one thing or another. And don't get me wrong, Itzer, I don't think this was necessarily the greatest conversation. We kind of just wasn't oh, Russo Source, sure. Don't get me wrong. But I'm talking about each and every month. A lot of stuff like that, you won't necessarily have a contiguous series of tournaments. And I could be wrong, but even if I'm wrong, like, I'm wrong by a few degrees. Like, this is still one of the coolest series of tournaments that ever existed. Icy, you asked a question. Is the Grand Prix the only Swiss Duel Links tournament left? I don't know. It's possible. Most of the tournaments are single elimination now. And I will say, if I had to give up doing tournaments, I would give up my single elimination first. Pharaoh's Cash tournament? Okay. So CM Schofield, the reason that the Meta Weekly is single elimination now is because I just want to encourage people to sign up. That's it. Like, I would love to continue doing the Meta Weekly as a Swiss tournament, but I think I'm more likely to encourage people to sign up for a potentially $50 single elimination. Like, I'm just being real. If we cannot get 50 plus people, like, I want at least Henry, thank you so much for the follow. Giving it a 1. Well, again, like, if I kind of, when it comes to the Meta Weekly, I kind of don't know what to do, because on the one hand, again, I have said it to the community over and over again. My number one commitment is to the community members. It's no, I understand CM Schofield, but again, Decade is a Decade is a Master Duel streamer. Barox, no. Why would Decade do that? Like, no offense, but why would he do that? He has no reason to do that. And nor would I expect him to. Why doesn't DK disclose player counts on Meta Weeklies anymore? Even on so I know the Duel Links Meta Weeklies do. They're always on there. I don't know why on the Master Duel ones. I believe the player count is usually, for the Master Duel Meta Weeklies, it's usually anywhere between like 60 and 90. I don't think they're necessarily trying to hide anything. It could just because it's a different team of people doing it. I don't know. It's like on average, like it's been a little low at times, but I would say on average, it's like 80 to 90 people. Old mods are gone too. Well, I mean, the old mods that are still around basically just want to do the dueling stuff. For example, in with the Duel Links Meta Weekly, Resoline, Dark Wolf, who's new technically, Metal Overdrive, Eli are typically the ones that help me. But oh no, Itzer, please, by no means, my friend. I know I know you still help out with the Master Duel ones, right? I know you're busy. I've been very lucky with Metal Overdrive and Eli being really awesome. And also Acceleration Gate has helped me a lot. Random question, whatever happened in the community with DLM coin? It just sort of faded away with a lot of crypto stuff. I believe that the actual reason that it ended up like kind of tanking is because the company that was doing it basically like lost funding, or they basically like ran it very poorly, and it wasn't sustainable as far as making money goes. So I wouldn't call it a rug pull, so to speak, but more like horrifically mismanaged. Like, I only ever put like $100 into it, and then it went up. I converted those all to tickets and then just used those tickets over time. I would just, during that period of time when the Meta Weekly was still tickets only, but people were kind of not playing anymore, I would just give people tickets to join the Meta Weekly. So everyone that followed DK and bought his coins got scammed out of their money? No, you could still technically, for the longest time, you could still use the coins for like entry to the tournaments and whatnot. Grand, I remember there was 1 to 2K people tournament. Yes, the giveaways. Every so often DK would do a tournament that was open to like literally everyone, and they were absolute nightmares. We literally had like, I'm talking like people would join and then other people were like scamming them for their accounts and stuff. We had to like do mod calls of like, do not give your like account information to people. Don't be effing stupid. What are you doing? Yes. Russosaur, it happened. It was wild. Bear Blue, I don't know. I literally had to be like, what are you do? Why would you give someone your account information, including your password? What are you doing? But yeah. I actually still have one of those like rally coins around here somewhere. Oh, so I bought tickets and I bought like the coin, like the Dark Magician coin or whatever. I'd have to, it's somewhere around here. I could find it, I think. Oh, here it is, hella dusty. Is it even still worth something? No, it's just like a memento. It's literally just a memento. I didn't care. Like again, I spent like $100 because I was just like, whatever, this is funny. I wasn't gonna go crazy. I'm in a position in my life where I can literally flush $100 down the toilet. Okay, so I was like, I went into it knowing that it was probably gonna be nothing. I'm not being like, hell yeah, I'm gonna make money off of this. And then again, because I was like, well, I'm not gonna do anything with it. And when they had the coin and whatnot, or the little token, I was like, whatever, sure. A physical memento of all the stuff that I did for the dueling meta community. I should probably give the people their money now. The winners of the tournament. Alrighty, guys. I hope that you enjoyed this little retrospective. We can do more things like this in the future. I am gonna go ahead and end it though. We've been streaming for like 7.5 hours now. Oh my god. I'm gonna go ahead and send you. I'm gonna send you guys over to Quantum. Give some love to my boy. Well, actually, how far is he into the tournament? If he's near the end, maybe not. He's in the top 8. Who else is streaming? Looks like Itami. Itami's rated us a few times. Why don't we give some love back to Itami? But yeah, all that usual jazz. Consider joining the Discord. Support the events so that we can continue to do them. If you guys want to, you know, stuff like the subs, dealing with the edges, we appreciate all that. It all goes towards keeping our events running. I do self-fund these. I do not have a sponsor currently. If I could figure out how, and it wasn't something scummy like Paideia, well, not scummy. I don't particularly want to go with Paideia because I would want something that still allows Swiss events, because that's my priority. But anyways, let's go raid Itami, and we'll see you guys around. Why can't I find you? Did you already end your stream? Oh. I guess, oh. It was an old one. Well, who do we raid then? I guess we just raid Quantum.